Watching a movie is a 2-hour-long investment of your life, so naturally most people want to stick with the best films to make it worth their precious time. The thing is, however, that not all pictures turn out equally good. Most of them are mediocre at best, and there are some that are just plain terrible. And those are exactly the ones we'll be looking at today. After all, you have to check out the stinkers to appreciate the good films. So here are some of our top picks for the movies that are so bad they're fun to watch. We kick things off with the 1995 Turkey Showgirls. It doesn't have a coherent plot, character arcs, or well-written dialogue, but it makes up for all those missing pieces with plenty of nudity, cursing, and some of the worst acting known to man. What little story there is focuses on a young girl with an apparent phobia of clothing who wants to be a professional dancer, but instead finds herself working in a strip club. Until, what do you know, in the end she becomes a dancer after all. This accidental spoof won no less than 7 Golden Raspberries, the awards that honor the worst in film. And it eventually scooped an 8th prize for Worst Picture of the Decade. Director Paul Verhoeven was a good sport, however, and accepted the awards in person.
The worst thing happened to me today. I got 7 of the worst awards. And I'm very happy because it was much better, much more fun than reading the reviews in September. Thank you so much.
Next in line is Battlefield Earth, based on a novel by sci-fi writer and Scientology founder L. Ron Hubbard. This mind-numbing masterpiece stars John Travolta and is widely considered to be one of the worst movies ever made. Yes, even more so than Showgirls. And since the film is set in the year 3000, it might actually become the worst picture of the millennium. So it's highly recommended that you check this one out because you won't believe what you're watching, both literally and figuratively. And most of the time you'll be unsure if you should laugh or just let the shame take over. Honestly, all the bashing of Battlefield Earth doesn't even do it justice. You have to see it for yourself. In the meantime, our next picks are the films from the Street Fighter series. It's of course based on the classic video games, which actually do have a good reputation. But in 1994 came the first movie starring Jean-Claude Van Damme, which was horrible. And in 2009 they rebooted the franchise when the stinker Street Fighter: The Legend of Chun-Li arrived. Believe it or not, however, we actually found someone who liked it. Then again, he does get paid to do so.
I'm very happy with the way the film came out. I'm very proud of it. It's just fun, you know, and in this day and age, it's nice to go to a movie and just have a good time, and that's what we did when we filmed it.
And last but not least in our best bad film list is the Expendables trilogy. The truth is that we're not 100% sure if they made the films dreadful on purpose or accidentally. But as their serious parts were just poorly done and their intended jokes were painfully unfunny, we'll include them just to be sure. The idea behind the movies comes from Sylvester Stallone and is actually pretty cool. A huge pile of old-school action heroes from the 80s, 90s, and 2000s team up to save the world. Unfortunately, the execution of the idea was less fun. Our guess is the actors had no clue what the famously mush-mouthed Sly was mumbling about and just said yes because he's such a friendly guy. And no one's had the guts yet to tell him that the final product stinks.
I've earned their respect, so if I say something, they know it's for real. It's not just whatever. I'm going to do it. If I say I'm going to, ride on the tanks, they go, "Oh, that's kind of silly." But I say, "Trust me, it'll be okay," and it turns out. So that's pretty much what what, if you want to call it, a leader is about.
That's it for our best bad film list. Honorable mentions include Striptease, Catwoman, The Last Airbender, and any movie directed by Uwe Boll. Remember to check out some appalling motion pictures from time to time, so you'll appreciate the good ones even more. And the ones listed here are definitely among the worst in history. Have fun!